the Prison City Podcast. When the bars go up, you're officially locked in.
Folks, welcome to the Prison City Podcast. I am your unofficial host, Patrick W. Cutler, and we got a really interesting show here today. It's going to be kind of spooky here. We're heading into the month of October here, and most people that are listening to this or watching this on YouTube is going to be watching around the first week of October. So we're going to do some spooky themes here this entire month. And this month, it's going to start off with witchcraft, something I have been dabbling in a little bit, you might say, the past month or so. And I can see Mahon's already laughing because he knows there's no such thing as dabbling for me. I mean, anyways, we're going to talk about witchcraft. We're going to talk about religion and relics, all kinds of different things here tonight. And it's going to be a very fun show. So with that said, let's just jump right into everything. Kelly, go ahead. We got brand new internet set up his place now, and Kelly should no longer have issues with his audio. Go ahead, Kelly.
Yes, so did you guys hear that?
Yes.
You know what? That was my intro from last week. And I don't have anything clever or witty or philosophical to say. It's our 29th episode. I have no special thing about the number 29. And I've never dabbled in witchcraft in my entire life. So that's my opener.
All right. I'm going to go to Matt here. What do you have to say tonight, Matt?
I think you got to go to be my default because it looks like Mahoney left for momentarily. Anyway, I'd say witchcraft, all that stuff interests me, like Salem Witch Trials, Blair Witch Project. I know that's a movie, but like the mythology behind it, all that stuff is interesting to me, and it's one of those things that could keep you up at night after you go to bed thinking about it. So I'm excited to dive right in.
Yeah, so as it's so funny that we got this brand new internet set up at the apartments and everything, and now I'm in a different place and the internet's great, and then suddenly Mahomes completely loses the internet connection because of that.
So while he's not here, can we quickly talk about the moon landing hoax and the coronavirus hoax? When he comes back on, we'll jump into witchcraft. So
COVID-19, the vaccination requirements are getting insane. The moon landing, it never actually happened, folks. No.
Well, that's basically what we said in an entire 3-hour episode. So
yeah, I know. Gosh, get back on there so I can get your opening speech here. I want to really dive into this.
Hey, I do want to say one thing about COVID-19 that I just saw before we got on it. It said, I just read an article about how like children ages 5 to 11 may not be required, or may not, they don't want to get the vaccine because something with Pfizer. And they've been pushing, a lot of, not getting the vaccine for certain ages, young ages like that. So I'm just thinking, talking about conspiracy theories like we always do on this show. I'll beat them to the punch on this one. But I'm just wondering, like, is that all vaccines? Like, children get vaccines all the fucking time. The baby comes out of the hole, and they're pumping you up with needles instantly when you enter the world. So I'm just wondering, like, is this like a fucking reset, or is there something here about like getting rid of, like the Nazis, like trying to make a superior race or whatever? Like, it just seems really strange.
Yeah. I don't think it's much a conspiracy, and I'll say it like this, is that to me, it just shows you that basically what they're saying is the vaccine isn't really that necessary. So 5 to 11 years old, it's not going to make much of a difference, is what they're kind of saying. So it's kind of like, if it's not really, they're trying to waddle this line where it's like, oh, it's the end of the world if you don't get vaccinated. Oh, wait, these people don't have to get vaccinated. It's not that
okay, switch subject.
So all right, so we just talked about the COVID-19 vaccine, and that ends that segment.
Hi, Mahoney.
Back to witchcraft here. Mahomes, what do you think, or what do you think at all tonight?
I want to say the witchcraft was literally, as you were saying, we got brand new internet. My internet kicked off. Like, so this feels like one of those, like, somehow you set up a prank or something on me immediately. Like, I can't tell you how suspicious I was. Like, when it kicked off, I was like, did he just end the meeting to fuck with me?
That's why you don't live in Podunk, Seattle.
Hey,
I know. I live in San Diego.
it's this podcast, you know, Witchcraft is just all about energy and stuff. And this new internet just sucked so much energy out of your internet to get to our internet.
Yeah, I know. Must have been like, man, he's always had a really good signal. Let's just take that away from him.
Yeah. And Mahoney, with your negativity, you're sucking the energy out of me.
Yeah. I've been known to suck you from time to time.
B-rated, motherfucker.
I know, energy I was talking about. You're the pervert.
I was watching, I know Pat wants to get on a Witchcraft, but I was watching Family Guy today, and I wasn't even really watching the episode. I just caught, like, Peter had like a vampire puppet on his hand. You seen that one? He's like, I sucked him dry, and then I drew his blood.
you talk about spell casting and law of attraction and predicting future events. Did you imagine, say, all of us where we were 2 years ago from now? 2 years ago now, did you imagine we'd be on a podcast and Kelly starts out, yeah, I know Pat wants to move on to Witchcraft?
I mean, no. But and the funny thing is it's just so like I'm so unfazed by that sentence too. Just like, yeah, obviously he wants to move on to Witchcraft. Like, let's get there.
So
yeah. I'm looking at the topics. You know, Pat sends out the topics a day or two before the podcast, and yeah, that didn't even hit me weird at all. I'm just like, hey, Witchcraft, the super volcano under Yellowstone. All right.
Well, shit. Some of compared to some of the topics he has on here, it's like tonight's pretty normal, I guess.
Online escorts.
Yeah, I don't know.
You would have loved that one. Mullins missed that one. You would have fucking died.
I know.
On that one.
I guarantee I would have had a very good laugh.
It is. I have like literally done months of research on things just to present it to this podcast.
You're probably one of the most researched podcasters on there on the most obscure possible subjects.
I think I like about Witchcraft is it's such, I like taboo topics. It makes it fun. And Witchcraft, everybody's scared of it. I was even scared of it. And then the last month or so happened, and we'll get into that a little bit. I
was just say, so like if we're a news station, then Mike Freeze would definitely have to be the one guy who comes on and comments, you know what I'm saying? Like
color commentary.
Yeah.
Just from time to time and just pushes like whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mike Freeze mashup.
As I'm really trying to, this one's a little bit, I don't want to spook anybody out. Just it has a very weird feel, this episode too, because nobody wants to look up some of these things about the show and then have someone watch our podcast and they cast a spell on this entire podcast.
Yeah. I just want to start off by saying, like, if there's anyone who's out there practicing witchcraft and you watch this, and just know that I have no like ill will or hard feelings to you, and I wish the best for you and your family.
I want to see Mike Freeze on like Bill O'Reilly or Tucker Carlson or one of these guys that, you know, after about 15 minutes, their guests, they'll just cut them off regardless because they only got a time slot, you know. Okay, well, all right, well, it's good having you on, Mike Freeze. Well, that was just my introduction, Bill.
We'll get to the pyramids in a minute.
If you watch, I don't know if you guys watched, who all watched the professional one we shot at the theater, but his filmmaking stuff is just badass. Like he did it. That really was cool. Good. Yeah, it was really cool.
The editing. I sat down and watched the majority of that. Just how the way he spliced it together was,
We roast really Mike Freeze, but he does badass work on anything he does when it comes to films and stuff. So I want to, before we go to Witchcraft, just go a lighter subject, just delay this a little bit longer. I'm not nervous at all to talk about this. We have, so I post to a lot of sites. I started posting a site called rumble.com. Conservatives know about rumble.com because it's like the anti-YouTube. You can post whatever you want. So we got an actual negative feedback on one of our Prison City podcast episodes that I was posting on there. You never guess which one it is, Kelly.
Yeah, you're right. I can't fucking guess because most of them are pretty X-rated.
Mahomes, guess.
I'm gonna guess it's the one I like the least, probably.
Yeah. So it actually is the Mike Freeze moon landing one that you were on originally.
Oh.
I don't know. That might be one of your top 10 least liked episodes.
Oh, 100%.
Did you refer the person to the full moon landing conspiracy podcast?
Shoot, I should. Yeah, I'll pull you up the comment here really quick. I'm going to show it here on the screen. And it says, you lost me at the 4th F-bomb.
Oh, fuck that.
Wow. Fucking
Delta
fuck.
deal.
Yeah, Delta. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're.
They look like they came into that thing looking to find a reason to be offended.
I mean,
cool. Thanks for tuning in.
isn't that why anyone jumps online? Any place they can comment right now? All right, let's see here. Filmmaking. My father-in-law died in a film.
Well, the 4th F-bomb might have been at the end of the show. When was that 4th F-bomb?
That was probably within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, highly fucking doubtful, Matt.
God, so far this is the best internet we've had for a show. Really good so far.
Shit, yeah, man.
For you guys.
So let's dive into a little witchcraft here while we're heading to Halloween. I been at this for a while. And the first thing I'm gonna say about witchcraft, which I've learned, is it's not at all like in the fucking movies, like people think, where it's like you cast a spell one day, like I'm gonna fuck Kelly's wife tonight. Then the next day you're fucking his wife. It's not really like that at all.
That's good to hear.
I like how that's very okay. I get you, what you're saying now.
I'm trying to give a very light-handed initial stuff to this because I'm going to go into some very dark stuff as we go on here.
I expect no less.
Most witchcraft, it's either one person is casting a spell or it's what you call a coven of people, and they'll get their coven together and cast a spell. Just for the record, I'm going to go into more details. I've actually had people cast spells for me the past month or so, just messing around with the stuff because it's just it's part of the research, just part of the research process.
No, it's just a hobby, man. It's like hacky sack.
Maybe
Is that why I've had such bad gas at night?
I wanted to comment on what Matt had in the background of his podcast name, and this is a good reference to it. Is all it is at the end of the day is pushing positive or negative energy in a certain direction. And when you meditate really hard, you can push that energy really hard because Albert Einstein, E equals MC squared. Matter doesn't exist without energy, blah, blah, blah. And when you push energy a certain way or whatever, it influences results. Thus, say like you're like a Baltimore Ravens fan, there's no fucking way they're going to win. And then they suddenly throw a 30-yard pass and kick a 70-yard field goal at the buzzer. Someone pushed energy the right direction, the Baltimore Ravens, right, Matt?
Yeah, and you know what's funny? After they threw that 30-yard pass, I knew the Lions were going to lose. I knew it. Like, even though it was still so far out of reach, I knew they were going to lose. And sure enough, you know.
Yeah, I kind of knew that too. You know, we're at Louder Than Life in Louisville, and we're watching the game, and I just felt that too. And just to say something about sports betting here, like that's all I bet on too. Is like I sit there and I meditate, and I literally like envision the game and shit, and I try to feel where's that energy pulling. Which sounds weird, but I've had some major fucking success just doing that, just like picturing what is going to happen and how the fans are feeling. And this team sucks. They have nothing to play for. It's like you can predict a lot of shit that way.
No, it's bizarre. And yeah. So I'm just to dive in here. So kind of looking at the different type of spells I've been able to find online to go from love spells, attraction spells. You can attract the love of your life, or this is just what they cast or whatever, or you can put a love spell on a very specific person to fall in love with you. We briefly covered this voodoo love spell episode. It was very brief, but there's documentation online of these. You go to Reddit and search love spells stories. You can find some pretty fucked up shit. It's pretty wild, some of the stuff they say on there. And then you have money spells, financial spells, thought implantation spells. You can implant a thought in someone's head spell. Any spell, and then you have any spell you can find, think of, they have online. You can order somewhere. You can order a spell to get a bigger penis if you want.
I'll have two, please.
Yeah. Where's that one at?
And then they have contact me spells where someone contacts you in a certain amount of way. And then a lot of these witches or warlocks, whatever you want to call them. Witches isn't defined by male or female, to tell you the truth, but they do call warlock sometimes a male witch. But anyways, they have what you call a book of shadows, and a book of shadows, all that is just a list, like a recipe book of a witch's favorite spells, and they sell them online, so you can get your own book of shadows. So we'll just start that with the opening. Does that make a lot of sense to you so far, Mahomes?
Yeah, I mean it's super interesting and kind of creepy at the same time. Like, do you think? I mean, you've done more research on this. It's not like the movies where you gotta have like a lock of someone's hair to toss in a vial or some shit, or is it like that, or is it just like Jesus, I can't even say it. Incantations.
Incantations.
Masturbation.
Yes, that too. Incantations where they're just doing that, or is there? I don't know, man. I'm we're kind of freaked out.
Yeah, and I'm gonna start sharing my screen here pretty soon. I'll start with the lighter stuff first, and then we'll go into stuff that'll blow your fucking mind. But it is, to tell you the truth, there are rituals that are like incantations, and there are rituals that involve everything you can fucking imagine. Usually if you're casting a love spell, if you have something physical from the person, they say it's more effective and they can focus more. Or if you have a picture of the person or their date of birth and all these different things, they say it's more effective. But you can do incantation spells. The ones I've done myself are more, I would say they're more like prayer. I would say they're more like incantation, harmless, like, stuff like that. Like, so let's skip to the stuff I'll go to here. I'm going to start sharing my screen. So, guys, no matter what happens, watch your jokes, because whoever watches this could just curse this entire podcast. So let's go back here a little bit here. Let's just go back here. So here, I'm going to share this screenshot first for everybody. This is the first spell I'm going to talk about. Pull that one up there for you. There it is.
Nice.
Pinch for a bigger view.
Is that Pornhub.com? All right, here.
No.
Oh, I was waiting for it. I was like, okay, here we go.
We were just trying to cover for you. Thought that was your last open tab.
I was planning on that because I was like, I gotta watch my tabs. I'm sharing this to like a national audience or whatever.
I gotta watch my tabs. Max Kendall said the same thing before he got caught.
Yeah, I mean, I have the wrong tab. If you guys see a list of spells I put on all these different people.
Yeah, you gotta X out of those things, man. Especially if you're at work or something. Boss comes in, you're trying to X out everything.
All right. So does everybody know what the site Fiverr is?
FIVR, is that what it is?
It's like ERR. Basically, you pay $5 to get someone to do something. It could be anything, like literally anything, from writing an essay for you to make video production to design work. The best use I've found so far is design work. Like, we can get a logo made that would cost you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, made for $30 or $40, super high quality. So it's a really cool site that kind of undercuts a lot of the competition and things. Basically, what I didn't know, and I'm going to go back to this all happened back when we were discussing Redgate, our film, and this is probably where Redgate's dragged me into some weird circles. It's been going on for so long, where Mike Freeze said he wanted us to talk to a psychic about Redgate and the alien activity of our film. There's alien activity in this film, Redgate, we were shooting at. There's paranormal stuff, and he had mentioned a psychic. So I tried to research psychics on Fiverr, and I came across spells, and that kind of opened this new portal to me. I was like, okay, let's have some fun here. So I'm going to jump right into Fiverr here and go to the spell section, folks. Here, this is what I'm sharing my screen right here. So here are, this is just searching. Let me do it like this. Spells. So this is just searching spells on Fiverr, and I don't know who this guy, he seems cool. So you have, I will cast an Aphrodite sexy loves attraction beauty spell. You have career success spells. I will cast a love spell for impossible situations. There's a custom spell right here. Here I had one up I really want to go to. I'm going to show you here. I'm going to go back to it.
Well,
I mean, I
looks
gotta
like you're
tell
saying
you, those things look pretty damn affordable.
Yeah, so it's only like $5 or $10 you pay.
I was just saying, and they look like they got reviews, like 5-star reviews.
Yeah,
Shit.
so check this out. So this one is I will cast a fast obsession spell using African Obeah love spells. And these are like little voodoo dolls, whatever. What they call this lady specifically, almost nobody does dark magic openly on Fiverr because Fiverr is a lot more friendly or whatever. So this is where it gets interesting. So this one is aimed at casting a love spell on specific person you have a crush on or whatever. But anyways, but you can look at there's different levels. So you have the basic, the standard, and the premium, and like the price goes up as you go up with these. So the basic spell is I will boost desire, focus, care, and make your lover dream and think about you daily. So that one, say if you did have someone you really liked and you just want them to think about you, that one seems, pretty fucking innocent, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's overall innocent because it could wear off, right? They're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what it blows my mind. You just go one level up, pay a few more dollars, you go one level up for this, and it's a standard obsession spell. Now tell me this sounds standard at all to you? Unbreakable obsession spell to attract deep love you create, unlimited obsession forever.
Yeah, what does unbreakable mean?
That sounds a little serial killer-ish.
Like, wouldn't you have to be crazy to think that you could cast a spell on somebody forever to love you and it's unbreakable? That just sounds insane to me. Even if I had a diehard crush on somebody, wouldn't that just be crazy?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you think the first, if me trying to come up with an example that pops up is it's almost like, those just like serial killers that are in prison and have these people that are just obsessed with it, or they get married in prison, even though they're like just, they've killed multiple people. And they have that one person that's like obsessed with them and backs them forever, even when they're executed or whatever. That's kind of what I think this is like equivalent to. Like they had someone cast a spell for them or something.
Yeah, it's like, who's desperate enough to, do they actually look at this shit and, like, oh man. You know what I mean?
Pat's showing it to us.
So that's my thing is I just think of the word forever, like you think of somebody. I'm not saying that people don't get married with intention to stay together forever, but the idea of someone that you have a crush on or whatever that you don't even know, or maybe an ex, and the reason they're an ex is because something bad went down and you weren't meant to be together. That's mostly why they're an ex. And you want to cast, let's go down to the next one, update to the premium package, permanent love, permanent obsession, permanent lust, making your lover back fully committed to you. It's like, does that sound like a good idea for somebody you don't really necessarily know that well or had issues with in the past?
Yeah, no, this sounds like, it could be a good thing on one hand, but then it sounds like it could be a fucking terrible thing on the other hand. Because like we talked about a couple episodes ago, those people that are extremely attracted to you and chasing you down and stuff, it's kind of a turn off, So this sounds like a Twilight Zone episode, honestly.
Yeah, no, I was going to reference that. There's that Twilight Zone episode where the guy goes to get a love potion, and he's obsessed with this girl. The girl has no interest in him whatsoever. He gets the love potion, and he casts this love spell on her, and she becomes so fucking obsessed with the guy that, not short. We're talking about like a week. He's already sick of her because she's like just fucking on him constantly. So then he goes back to the guy. What does it cost to take the love potion off? So the love potion itself was like, I don't know, like $2 or something. The guy back then, this is a lot of money. It's still a lot of money today. It depends, but the guy was like, yeah, it's $1,000 for to take the love spell off. He's like, what? And I went through the back end of some of these sites, and they're like, the lady had like extra gigs of her on this back end. And one of them, I don't know if it popped up on accident, but it was like to take a spell off. It was like $1,000.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Will you click on some of the like reviews?
You want to see the reviews?
Very curious.
Yeah, this is where I go down. Read the reviews are fucking really interesting. So let's go down and read some reviews. I'm excited to see. I'll get some good ones for you. Very legit, understanding.
There's one 4-star review. What the fuck happened to that guy?
I know there's only
backfired on.
Yeah.
She didn't like oral, so you get 4 out of 5 stars.
Like always, experience this page. I'm a return customer. There's some guy named Nick Spree. She did an amazing job. Absolutely.
I heard Nick Spree did the premium obsession package.
He did it for 30 days, not just 3.
I actually copy and pasted that review from somebody else.
That's hilarious.
It's just all Nick Spree.
So, by the way, the audience, my screen name is Nick Spree, so that is actually me right there. I'll get in that story later on. Anyways, I'll go through. There's some actually good ones. Repeat customer here. Dean is great as usual. The second spell I ordered worked within days. That's pretty crazy. Within days it works. I am back to order something more permanent.
That's what I was wondering. So, like, after, where does it go from here? So you click the continue button, then.
So I'll walk you through what happens here. The reason I think it's crazy, they say within days. So you hit the continue button. Say she has 3 days delivery. So it takes 3 days for her to cast a spell or whatever. So this is a complex spell, or remove a complex spell, $1,000. But you click here, and then you can add on forever protection, all these different things you can add on. So what happens is you click and you go through here, and then you get, if you haven't done Fiverr, you get like a message right away that says, oh, provide X amount of details for the work she's doing or whatever. Then you provide her details, and then she'll get back to you within 3 days saying, oh, the spell has been cast, blah, 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 blah. Here's a little ritual, whatever you do, and whatnot. The reason I think it's weird that people say within days, for Fiverr, you have a very limited amount of time to leave a review. I mean, we're talking like once they finalize your order, you agree to the order, it's like you get whatever, the design or whatever, you hit okay on the order. You have only 3 days to leave a review for that order, 3 days. So when it comes to spells, you're thinking, fuck, if they leave if they leave a review that something happened, it would have to happen within 3 days, which is pretty damn fast, right?
That's crazy that these things can work that fast that people are putting reviews.
Yeah. So what I go through is I tried to look at ones where they actually talked about something happening, but it's for them to talk about something happening on here is pretty crazy. I have another site I'm going to show you that the rabbit hole gets way deeper than this. Most of them though, she comes back with a report, blah, 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 says some nice words or whatever. She's really nice and people are just like, cool. To some of these, it's kind of weird how they say there's a result or whatever. But that's that one. And let's go to, I have some other tabs up here. I will cast a love spell for impossible situations.
Yeah, what the hell does that mean?
The spell manifests impossible situation into possible. This means for people that you broke up or whatever, and there's no possible way. So you broke up with your wife, she's with another guy, they're married, they've been married for 5 years, and you're like, fuck it, I want her back.
That's the impossible.
Most spells take 30 days average to manifest. So again, 30 days, it's based on the rituals I was asked to do, 30 days is about right.
That's impossible.
It allows spells from impossible
She can do
situations. Uniting couples through tough situations. This is add-on, it's keep you on their mind, and reignite passion packages. These are all pretty good.
That is all 5-star reviews.
Yeah, this is crazy. They're all 5 stars. So you're like, fuck. That the more it is. But if you understand that they only have 3 days to leave a review, and then most people are like, once the spell's cast, they're like, oh, she just changed my life. I'm just gonna leave a review, 5 stars right away. Or like we're thinking, if I don't go back and leave a 5-star review, is it gonna come true then?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
heard Ted Bundy did this once, and it manifested within a couple hours.
Jeez.
Oh, I thought we were going dark on this episode.
That's within a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And there's this person.
A lot of this shit seems very fishy.
Oh, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, again, we're talking law of attraction, different things we get more into, but on whether it works.
I was going to say that too. Just looked at the stuff. The first thing that jumps in my head is that this kind of just does what you should do anyways to attract love or anything into your life. Is it just changes, hopefully, your mindset where you actually believe something's going to happen. Because if you believe something's going to happen wholeheartedly, it will happen. That's really what this is talking about here.
Yeah. And that's again true. That's what I'm talking about, law of attraction things. A lot of spell witchcraft is kind of basically like they're sending energy out into the world and things. I also believe there's people that are really good at manifesting things, and there's also people that are different levels of like spellcasters and psychics who there's the real legit psychics and there's frauds out there just like any other industry. This one's interesting. And I'll admit, I actually did this one because I thought it was really fucking interesting. I will draw your soulmate or twin flame. I'm not sure what a twin flame is. I still don't know what that is, with a psychic reading. So what they do is you ask them to, you give them like your date of birth, a couple of details about yourself, a picture of yourself, and then they just very minimal details, and they go out and within 24 hours, basically this guy does 24 hours work, 1 day delivery. He draws this entire picture of your soulmate. He has specific details down to their age, the date, the basic date and time that you meet, what she looks like. I mean, you're talking about like really fucking down to earth details, and the place you meet at, not like the exact place, but they're general but specific. You know what I mean? Like this is the month or whatever it happens. This is the type of event it happens, and then you get a picture and shit with it.
So Pat, scroll back up. Did you want a refund after they drew your picture and they came back looking like the dude on the left?
No, it's kind of fucked up because you'll go down here and people like, I'll show you the reviews here. People are like, no way, he drew a picture of my ex.
So you got a picture?
Yeah, I got a picture.
Do we get to see it, or does that break the rules?
Technically it breaks the rules, because then it's like, let's just say this. He gave me all these details, and now I have the specific game plan of when she's going to arrive so I can come out and stop it. So,
and so if you can't show us anything, can you tell us just generally when it's supposed to happen or at a certain event, or does that mess things up too? Can we know nothing?
I'll say this. I'll say, I don't see, he didn't go in that. He just said it was like a little disclaimer at the bottom. If you tell everybody this reading or show it to somebody, you get other opinions and it'll influence the result. Basically, he gave me, it was a type of event appearance or whatever. And then he gave me what she looks like. I'll give you the details that kind of blew my mind a little bit, I would say. He described somebody that I would have a high level of attraction to, which is really weird because he doesn't have any details to go off of. And he described the type of person that I would think is weird. He described someone that would actually match up really well with me. And maybe for head, sexually, everything would be like a very compatible match and everything. And then the weird thing is, okay, the event or something is something that the event's not specific, by the way. It's not a specific event. So there's nothing really give away there. They also did a snapshot, and the snapshot thing is, he says, I see you with her at this general location in this part of the world or whatever at this specific event. And again, I'm not get this way, I'll just say within the next year, I'll turn this over to the Prison City podcast. We'll go through the whole thing once that time elapses or whatever. I can see if it actually happens or not. But the weird thing was, the event that he described that I was at, they saw me at with this girl, is something I've never fucking been to, and I don't see myself. Why would I even go to something like that? Like it's like one of those is like really fucking head scratching.
Is it like a furry party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something like, I don't know if Kelly or Matt or even Mahones has done it. It's not like this weird thing. It's just I've never done that before. It's like I don't know why I would go to something like that.
You never know.
But then he went hardcore off about like art and stuff like that. So it was like with the stuff that we do, it's like, fuck, that's like right up, like there's certain things like, you're like, how did he fucking get to these little points or whatever? So it's like,
well, so do you think like some of that could be like like you said, stuff you want to hear, and almost like a fortune cookie or a horoscope saying, oh yeah, because my whatever zodiac signs this, oh yeah, that totally describes me, blah blah blah. But in the same time, they're being so vague that you could believe it or take it with a grain of salt.
I think it's all subject to that, to tell you the truth. I mean, for me personally, it's a lot of attraction. A lot of times you write something down, then bury it, forget about it, and that's more likely to come true than anything else. And that's what I plan on doing, is just kind of burying it and saying, okay, whatever. A lot of stuff within like the next week or so, I'm going to bury it completely and just be like, okay, I'll come back to this whenever. And see
because like horoscopes, I've read mine for years, and I'm always like, man, that is totally fucking me. But then I'm like, well, can your brain just fill in, like we do improv, can your brain just fill in those missing pieces, go, well, yeah, I can see that, I can see that. You just justify it or whatever. But I read like everybody, like all my friends and family's horoscopes, because I like to see if it matches that person, not just me, because I can make up anything in my own head about that. But even reading other people's horoscopes, I'm like, wow, that is totally that person. That's their tendencies and shit in life. I do that all the time.
So there's the astrology stuff is what psychics use, and it's surprisingly accurate. A lot of astrology stuff on a person. It's really interesting. I'll go back and say this is when I first went out with what's her face back, old Steeler jersey.
Yeah.
Cordell
Stewart.
Yeah, Cordell Stewart. By the way, if you're listening out there, you really ruined my life. No, I'm just kidding. I journaled. It was such a bizarre relationship, and all these things came together to make it happen out of nowhere, were unexplainable. And I journaled it for probably about a month. I was like, this is fucking insane. I mean, this is just insane for me to sit there and say to a girl, well, look, this relationship, I don't know what it's about. I've attracted you. I don't know why we're together, but if this is really what's made to be, well, the Steelers, I'll be together with you as long as the Steelers win. And they're not even in the playoffs. They're not even in the fucking playoffs. And they win every single game and win the Super Bowl. It's like, but it's mind-boggling.
I was saying, going back to and this kind of relates to what you just said, going back to the fortune cookie thing, it's like, don't you think your mind can be manipulated like the fortune cookie? You will go on a vacation here soon. And it's either, oh, shoot, I do have this vacation planned out. Man, yeah, totally, they got it right. Or, yeah, I was thinking about going to Hawaii, which is totally two different things. If you're actually going, then you're just like, yeah, I do want to go there.
Here's
what I'm saying? Yeah. Either way, you're right.
Here's the interesting thing to say about manifesting reality. They talk about how thoughts control, energy, thoughts, create matter and everything. And everyone talks about their brain, their mind. And I was listening to the other day. Do you know your heart, when it comes to the electrical magnetic field, your heart is actually 60 times stronger than your brain is when it becomes to emitting energy and stuff. That's why love's so powerful. So it's like, you're telling me my love of the Steelers led them to winning the Super Bowl? How do you explain that shit though? My thoughts just made them win the Super Bowl. It's just like, I don't know.
I can tell you, as someone who watched their team lose in the most like soul crushing way possible, I had nothing but positive vibes going towards them. So I don't know if that's exactly how it works.
But did it shift halfway through? Like you've admitted, like the Patriots scored or something, they were driving. You're like, we're losing. You admitted saying we're going to lose. So did that energy shift? Which obviously it did for everyone.
I was saying, just to add on what Kelly's saying, Mahoney and Kelly, we all know this of being fans of shitty teams. That moment, like, even though you could be winning the game by whatever, we're going to lose this game at that moment right there.
Oh, yeah. I'll fucking announce it. Like, you guys saw me a couple weeks ago watching the Dolphins game. I announced it. I was like, hey, make sure you throw, it's 3rd and 10. Make sure you throw a pass that's short of the goal line and get tackled, and then have a turnover. And then the other team has the ball. And that exact sequence of events happened. And I wasn't surprised at fucking all.
Yeah. Everyone at halftime in that particular Super Bowl, everyone was reaching out, like getting phone calls, getting texts, like, oh man, congrats. I was like, guys, it's not over. Like, I wasn't negative. I was just like, they're up by a lot, but the game's not over. And then after they scored, I think the first time they scored and went for 2, I did out loud say, we're losing this fucking game.
I like what Pat said too about I don't know if you guys have looked at much of that law of attraction shit, but writing down your dreams, your goals, whatever, and being extremely specific and then burying it. Like we watched this YouTube video where you put it under your mattress. So I moved rooms, a year or 2 ago, and I had all these goals and shit, and I completely forgot about them. I was reading them, and every single one of them came true. Like rebuilding the theater roof. I was like, I don't know how this is going to happen, but I wrote down the specifics. It happened. Every one of them happened. And you're not really supposed to dig them up. They say they're like seeds. They're like plants. You don't dig it up every day and read it. No. You bury it. And then just later on, like a year or 2 later, when you've completely forgot about it, go back and read that shit and see how much of it's happened. Because
all of it will happen. The point I want to make about the Super Bowl with Mahomes is this also. It's like the more passion and heart you have for it. What I meant by that is like, when you bet your entire relationship on a sports team, like if the Falcons lost the Super Bowl, you were going to break up with your wife, were you?
No, I mean, they lost and we're still together.
Do you regret not making that bet though?
No, I don't.
What if the Falcons would have won if you would have made that bet though?
She probably regrets me not making that bet.
But it's like I've done it twice, and I'm not giving. This is not relationship advice anybody should take, by the way. I bet my wrist up twice on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Both times won the Super Bowl. So if you want to win the Super Bowl, find someone you're loving and bet your entire relationship on it. Don't worry, you'll find somebody else if they don't make it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'll find someone else. You'll find someone that you're supposed to date or be with or whatever. And earlier I was thinking about how Marissa and I got together. Like I didn't call for that into my life. I was like open for it, but I wasn't like sitting here white knuckling it. When's it gonna happen? That just came into my life so fucking randomly. And then we're married now because randomly I get asked to be the commencement speaker at the high school graduation, and randomly, it's a huge event, and that's, if I ever propose, I want to do it at a ball game or something big like that. So I was like, man, these stars are fucking aligned here. And obviously we love each other. So that is literally why we're married, is because I got asked to be the commencement speaker.
So I'm going to use what Kelly just said to kind of get us started down the dark road we're going to go down here. They say that's so true. That's not even true. That's only not only true with he's saying there. It's 100%, 110% true with witchcraft. And you can go on and read stories. Just go on Reddit and just search love spell stories. Everyone should. They're fucking will blow your mind. They always say with any spell, especially with love spells, yes, it will happen, but you have no idea how it will happen or what that ripple effect will look like. Mm-hmm. It never happens how you think it's going to happen.
And you should sit back and ride the fucking roller coaster. So I'm try to control that.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering why I set 27 different spells this past month.
Now, I guess when you say that, so let's say you put a love spell on Jane Doe. There's no telling that it could be next week or it could be in 35 years. There's no way of knowing.
I would say not that long, because like you said about spells wearing off, they say no spell lasts forever. So if you cast an effective love obsession spell, like the one I clearly signed up for, they say there's no telling how long it will last, but they're like, even if it lasts like a year or whatever, it wears off eventually. But if the spell either works or it doesn't, it's not like you cast a spell and then like 5 years later she shows up like wanting to
like these reviews though are rolling in with like 3 days, right?
Yeah, but if you actually read the reviews on the Love Obsession one, only a couple of them said they saw results right away. And to me, it depends on your situation too. If you know the person pretty well, XYZ, they're your ex, blah 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 blah. The route there might be a little bit easier compared to just putting it on a random person that maybe you don't even talk to or anything, that knows you. So they have to actually know you and you know them. You can't just put it on like a random ass fucking person. It has to be someone that actually knows you and you know them, if that makes sense.
And you need to be on all this shit, spells, law of attraction. You need to be laid back and go along for the ride. The more you sit here and go, oh no, I cast a spell, so I'm gonna fucking call this chick, I'm gonna go knock on her door. Just let it fucking happen. It will happen. If you let it happen.
Sounds like you tried it, Cuts.
So I'm married now.
Well, it sounds like the spell could wear off at any second. In 11 years, she's gonna wake up and be like, who the fuck is this guy?
That's why they say spells are so effective though, because like the person that casts is like, oh, I don't have to do shit now. And most of the time they're right. The less you do, the more likely it's going to happen.
It's like the Family Man. I wake up in bed. You're not my wife. That's not my kid. I live in New York.
So
yeah, no shit.
I'll go through my experiences with these different things I've done so far. The first one that everyone clearly saw that I had a review on. I did the very basic one, and I thought that was just a fun, basic, African Obia, whatever. So this is pretty safe. White magic. They always say white magic, and then she comes back. I casted an obsession voodoo spell using voodoo dolls to ensure this. I was like, whoa! That's not what I signed up for at all.
Jeez.
I was like, okay, I thought this is the other thing. This is like the lowest level one, and this guarantees your results in the next. It was like 35 days or something like that. But anyways,
she's like, Pat, you're gonna die in 7 days.
So this is gonna be the funny part. So I've done a bunch of different things and they're different times or whatever. I actually have a book tracking every single one just for the fucking fun of it. So far doing this I'm not talking about like doing this like every day or something like that. Just maybe every other week, maybe once or twice a week, 2 or 3 times a week, maybe 5 times a week.
Twice a day.
Yeah. But I have this book I'm tracking just in the future, whatever, if anything comes true or whatever, just tracking all of these. Everybody should do it with your goals anyways. But so far, and we're heading it's almost about 35 days here pretty soon. So far, guess how many spells in 35 days have come true for me so far?
How many are out there?
Probably at least 20.
I'll say 3.
Jesus Christ, he's probably customer of the month, huh, Mahoney? 20 spells out there.
He's putting witches through college.
Kelly, how many do you think came true?
Fuck, I don't know what you're asking for. Obviously, if you asked to be married, that didn't come true the last couple of days. I don't know. Depending on what you ask for, if it's mild shit, I'd say half of them. If it's crazy shit, I'd say 2 or 3.
I'd say 3.
So here's this is a lopsided question because a lot of them say up to 30 days. So if I cast one 35 days ago, then I cast another one like a week later. Well, there's a bunch that you could sit there and are still in the process or whatever. So far, I've had one come true so far. One. So all the other ones I have not even seen any slightest hint. You could look for signs in the universe any day and say that might be a hint, but I have not seen any result from anything I've casted so far except for one. You guys want to hear that spell?
Yes, very much so.
So this one I bought this spell and it's a self-conducted spell. You read these weird lines or whatever. It's a financial blessing spell. So you do the spell and then you're supposed to get like more money coming into you. So I read the lines several times. I focused on money and thousands of dollars and stuff coming in. I did this one night in front of a candle and all these different things. 2 days later, get this, 2 days later, this is the craziest part of it. 2 days later, I get a phone call from Prison Pizza. They want me to work. I made $20 in tips that day.
Hey, fucking accept it, man.
Yeah.
Here's another one. I didn't ask for a spell, but I mean, I basically I'm always open for money and success to come into my life and all of our lives. I'm always open for that. So I was just like, anytime I start to try to control all that, I always fuck up. Whenever I'm like, no, of course I'm going to make this amount of money today or this week or whatever, it always happens. So do you guys remember when my car got repoed that what the fuck was that car, man? Lincoln city car, Lincoln.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying it was like a Lincoln or a Cadillac or something.
Yeah. So I got fucked on that thing. They ripped me off and everything. And that was, that was a long time ago. That was like 7 years ago. So that's always been in my head whenever I think about that. Like, yeah, those guys fucked me over. So I'm sitting there going, you know what? The stock market was closed or something. I'm like, man, I can't make any money today unless I sports bet or something. But something will come. So that in the mail came a check from Wells Fargo for $400 because they said they ripped me off on that car. Isn't that crazy?
That's freaking really insane.
Jeez, because Wells Fargo usually rips you off hardcore.
I
so
know,
that's
and they
crazy.
were like apologizing and shit. I hate Wells Fargo, but they were apologizing, and they said, "And we're paying you interest on the last 7 years because we ripped you off." So it was like $400.
That is freaking crazy.
And how much did you turn that 400 into betting on the Pistons that day?
Lost it all.
So I'll go into a few more details of the kind of downside. You go on Reddit and search. I can't pull it up right now, but on Reddit you can search all these things and they tell these love spells. And one person posted this on Quora.com, that popular on Quora, and they were like, "Yeah, I cast a love spell just for the fun, kind of like me." And now this girl is just fucking obsessed with me and won't stop messing with me and leave me alone, and just like goes about how obsessed this girl's. Like, is there a way I could just take this thing off? And then the people just went on to just rip the person new assholes. Like, you don't just cast shit for fun. This is serious. So there's these different aspects of it that think that either A, love spells or whatever don't work at all and it's just a bunch of hocus pocus, or B, they do work and you should be careful. B, they do work and you shouldn't do it on a specific person because you take away their free will because they have no choice but to fall in love with you. And then C, the other opinion is that love spells do work. They should be practiced and they're harmless. They don't really harm anybody at all. The people that B is the one that I think is interesting. We'll talk about this a little bit to move on to the crazy stuff. I disagree with this. You can find these people all over these message boards that are just going off on, "I do not believe in taking away somebody's free will. If you cast a love spell for a specific person, it takes away their free will." It's like that to me, that's just fucking bullshit. I say it's bullshit for this reason. It's like you can only influence the environment. Like you can't just fucking cast a love spell on somebody. Like I can't cast a love spell on Mahon's wife and suddenly she runs away with me like 2 weeks later. It doesn't fucking work like that. Because what happens is you cast it and it goes, if it works the way they say it is, it goes into their head and they might have thoughts, feelings, stuff like that. But at the end, they still have a choice to like ignore it and be like, okay, that's just fucking stupid. Just like any of us, married or not, might have fucking horny feelings for some girl out of nowhere. You could still be like, okay, well, I'm just going to ignore that. So that's where I think. What do you guys think about that free will aspect of a love spell in a specific person?
So Pat, when you running away with Mahoney's wife again?
All right, sounds like that's one of the spells that he's been cast for sure.
Yes. So I guess I'll throw this out before his internet cuts out. Anyway, yeah, but what you're saying too is like going back to the whole Twilight Zone where they're getting the thing from the little devil shaking his head, like, and they're living by every single word that thing spouts out. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, it's so relevant because this certain thing happens. So kind of going off what you're saying there, you know, it's like totally people live by someone else's words just because it's taken so out of context.
You can sabotage these spells, or I mean, these even sound like just prayers. You know, you say a prayer and you believe it's going to happen. It happens. You can really sabotage that by trying to take everything into your own control. That never fucking works. You know, that's very, very hard. So again, I'll go back to like, if you're just open to it and you don't know the who, you don't know the when, you don't know the why, you don't know the how, and it doesn't matter to you, then it'll happen. It might take a week, but you're going to get that check in the mail, or that girl's going to get a hold of you. You're going to run into her at a bar or whatever. That's going to fucking happen, but you can't want it to, you know, in this day and age of instantaneous messenger and the McDonald's and all this shit, we want it like, I need $400 to pay my rent right now. That's not how it fucking happens. You got to be open and say, okay, I don't know when it's coming. Yeah, it might be Tuesday, it might be a month from now, but it will happen if you're open like that.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's kind of why, let's see, what's today? Probably about a week or so from now, I'm probably going to just take away all the spells I cast the past month or so and kind of bury it in a closet or something to forget about, and then come back to it later and focus more on the financial spells, since that's like a lot more beneficial, I would say, to me. Mahans, any thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the idea of free will is interesting because you could also not necessarily cast a spell and almost manipulate someone into falling for you, like kind of making their mind think it's fate by you setting up these. I mean, you see it in movies like to the extreme where they set up someone that's fake in danger and then you save them, or you just always happen to be showing up where they're at because you're stalking them, but they don't know that. You're setting it up to make it seem like your worlds are supposed to be together. So that's almost like casting a spell, but that's like cheating it even more, I think, because you're manipulating the situation yourself. You're not letting like the energy or the aura happen. So I think that's kind of an interesting way to look at it. Because if someone does like they cast a spell, but then they're also setting up these, they slash their tires, but then the next morning they're there to help change their tires. This is like a weird example, like.
Well, that would work in the in the current moment, but the pretense of it is actually evil and wrong and everything, and that's going to go very, very fucking sour for you one way or another. Whether you get married or date for a while, that's going to go really wrong eventually because it was founded on complete and utter horseshit.
Well, and it's that like the happily ever after nonsense, right? It's like he came in and swept me off my feet by changing my tires, or I was in this horrible situation and he saved me from a car speeding down the street. Well, yeah, his friend was the one driving the car. And then it turns out you find out they're just a piece of shit the whole time,
Oh, that's
10 years later.
That's the downside. Like there are laws of quantum physics. There's laws of attraction in biology, and there's plenty of books. I've read plenty of books on it, of techniques you can use to attract girls and convince them to go to bed with you, sleep with you. And the techniques are guys that do it for a living, so they fucking work. They don't work 100% of the time, but yeah, you're manipulating a situation. But at the same time, it's like, well, that's just you're just kind of playing by the rules too. But like you can manipulate, a lot of people to go to bed with you that you think you wouldn't be able to just by using those rules or whatever. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of fucking interesting, I think for us, mainly none of us do that stuff. I read a lot of books. I just could never do it because I just don't really fucking care that much, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, and if you sit back and let this shit happen, then trust me right now, there are millions of people out there that are already attracted to you, millions, if not billions of people on this earth that are attracted to you, that you would in turn be attracted to them. So you don't really have to try that hard. You don't really have to manipulate a single fucking thing. Just know that sitting back and being yourself, somebody's going to be attracted to you, and you will, reciprocate or whatever. It's 100%.
Yeah. So are you guys ready to go to the real dark side here finally?
I'll just ask one question to our esteemed host. What is there one that is so fucked up that you did that you're like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that? Or are they all pretty tame?
There's a couple.
He already told you the one about your wife.
Well, I said one about your wife too.
Oh shit, I'm next.
There's let's just say I have not invested a lot of money in any of these spells. They're all like super basic shit. There's fucked up ones I've read about. The one I'll throw this out there because the next clip I'm going to show you is kind of going to go into this. I did not do this spell, by the way. The next shot I'm going to show you, but there is a sex target spell. I'll show you that one. I did cast a sex target spell just for the fun of it. That supposedly makes her want to fuck you and go to bed with you. That's probably the most out there one I've done. So I'll just put that out.
That's probably like one of the most popular ones they sell too, I want to say.
Oh, I guarantee you.
You know how guys are.
Well, I'm going to go to Etsy here. This is where it really fucking has fun. This is Etsy.com, and most people think of Etsy as some arts and crafts and good old fun. They don't think of demonic witchcraft spells, but that's what we're about to look at here, folks. And the funnest part of this, again, like Mahomes mentioned in the beginning, is reading the fucking reviews for this shit. So let's just dive right into this first one on this Etsy.com. At your request, I'll turn to the dark forces, demonic ritual, strong feelings of love. We'll just scroll down and see what this is. This is
only $169.
$169, but again, the more you pay, the more like it's going to happen. Spells, rituals, do it. This is a powerful energy directly love to only to you, cutting off all unnecessary meaningless connections. So a lot of these things, you guys read this as you want to go, and I'll talk. A lot of these things, they talk about energy, and they talk about how when you cast a love spell on a specific person, you're not only taking her energy, but you're taking your own energy out. So it almost like she gets so glued to you, her energy is all towards you, she can't function or anything without talking to you or being near you. These are the powerful ones they're talking about. They talk about this and all these things. So you never know Like when I cast one like that, I haven't cast anything where I intentionally said, well, I want that to happen. I don't want that to fucking happen. I just want to get fucking laid. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I can't imagine. Etsy. Shit, I've bought my wife presents off Etsy. I didn't know you could do this sort of shit on there.
You're like, Merry Christmas, honey. I bought you a demonic sex spell.
Yeah.
You won't be able to go one night without it.
This is where it gets kind of crazy. This ritual will bring you results that cannot be compared with the usual earthly concept of love. Dark forces will imbue your union with powerful energy, ardent passion, and emotional attachment.
Dude, that sounds like a reading the back of a something you buy at the top shelf cannabis dispensary. Nice.
Remember the old horror movie section at the old video stores?
What sort of cannabis dispensary are you going to?
I wouldn't smoke that shit.
Sounds cool though.
The funny thing is, as we go through this, you look at the ones that go to the dark magic or black magic, and the reviews, like the details in the reviews are like, wow, this fucking worked for almost everybody that tried it.
Well, you're just matching energy. Trust me, there are so many people out there that will have sex with everybody. Everybody's got somebody that will have sex with them, if not millions of people. That's just how reality is. It's just most people are think they're too in control of their life that they won't let it happen. Oh no, she doesn't like me. Oh no, I'm trying too hard. They want to have sex with you. Let it happen, you know?
Oh yeah, no, totally. So our way of doing that is casting a spell and just throwing it away or forgetting about it, and then it just happens. But again, this ritual is done professionally. I was provided with pictures of the entire ritual. So I've done stuff on the Fiverr ones I've done. They just kind of say they do it or whatever, and then you might get a report or something. On the Etsy ones, though, they give you like actual pictures of them doing the ritual and stuff, which is pretty fucking weird. I may at some point reveal those. I don't know if I ever will. I might just delete them all because they're kind of fucking creepy.
I'm sure they are. I mean, I'm excited to do the yearly follow-up. You're going to be married with 10 kids or some shit.
10 more or 10 total?
That's hard to say.
It's like I found the love of my life. He's just all gothed out. We like to fuck with 100 candles surrounding the bed.
Our rich will make you witch. What? Our witch will make you rich. Jeez, say that 10 times fast.
Here we go. Here's my sex target spell. You guys want to check this one out? This is a sex target spell I did. I did it on a cat. Yeah.
I thought that said $116. I was like, Jesus, Pat.
No, I'm not that.
So
Yeah.
does the finished product look like the picture?
Well, I guess we'll see. Arcane ritual, dormant sexual attraction. I can spell new target affection. Requires a lot of my own sexual energy to perform this ritual. Only cast a few times a week. Amplifies the dormant attraction that target already has. Even if it feels like your target has no sexual feelings towards you, trust me, they probably do. It could be your scent. Okay, all these things. So the more dormant attraction they have for you, the quicker they'll be in your bed pleasuring you. The less dormant attraction there is, the longer it'll be before you fuck. This will happen more and more. However, satisfy your insatiable want for you, they will pleasure themselves in private over you. This will happen more and more frequently. Eventually, they will give in to their amplified attraction for you, and your target will relent, letting you fuck them senseless.
Seems like a dirty book, like the stuff like smut that you could get at the IGA that you don't realize what you're buying.
Let's just go through the reviews. Cast quickly, fingers crossed. Definitely starting to see a difference. Separate those. Yeah, where is this? Fastest results I ever had happened in 4 days. Wow, 4 days. That dude is getting laid. Scott was getting laid in 4 days.
Congratulations, Scott Gangstead.
Very fast. Again, there's a thing called karma too, and a lot of these people they'll put like no karma because like if you cast something that goes backwards, it goes sideways, and then something bad happens to that person, then they say karma catches up to you. But I mean, it's all for fun, right? We're just talking here, right, George? We're just talking.
The only person having sex with my wife is me.
Yeah, we're just talking here about this.
Except I'm actually doing it. That's the only difference.
Like, we're just talking. You've actually purchased multiple. You're $400,000 in debt on spells right now.
So here's one I actually tried too. It's called Extreme Contact Me spell. I got the 10% discount, by the way.
Jeez, $2.97. That's it. $2.97.
I don't know if this is the exact one I tried, but basically she'll contact you. Basically, is what it's supposed to do. She'll be friendly, open. May want to contact you, keep in touch, out of the blue. Basically what happens is they cast a spell and they're supposed to contact you shortly after that in some manner or whatever. The one I did was kind of cool. Like, so the next day, so this is the kind of cool ritual they give you. Like, so I got the whole thing and they're like, do this ritual. And what the ritual was, you write down on a piece of paper, your manifestation, what you want to happen. And then you pour a glass of water and then you put that paper inside the water and then whisper to the water, again, your manifestation, what you want to happen. You take the water, put it under your bed with the paper and everything inside it, let it sit there the entire night and go to bed. The next day you get up, take the paper out, it's all wet, you let it dry out or whatever. You take the water, you pour it into nature, like over flowers, into the universe, basically. Then once the paper dries out with your manifestation, you go and light that on fire and let it blow into the air as you're thinking about your manifestation. Lady says it works all the time, literally. Did it 2 days ago.
Were you contacted immediately?
No. That one, she said it's take up to 9 days, so I have my fingers crossed.
I heard that's also how the Rialto burnt down.
So were you, like, when that cup of water was under your bed, that would kind of like creep me out, or were you just like excited, like Santa Claus was coming or something?
Well,
you know.
Well, I mean, when you're 37 spells deep, you don't really care anymore.
Keep bumping them numbers up, man.
Was it something ridiculous, like you wished that Arnold Schwarzenegger would contact you? He's gonna contact you on day 9.
Yeah, I've done some weird stuff.
So it seems to be money and sex are the main.
So it's money, sex, and then we'll go dark up at the very top. I must say, waiting a month to find out. This is another obsession spell. So these guys can wait forever to leave a review on Etsy, so you can actually see more real reviews. Waiting a month, I must say, it has been worth the wait. It has worked perfectly. Target finally opened up. Sweel did in 24 hours. Sent company will shop again. Up to a person's obsessed with me. He even confirmed his obsession is super sweet and loving now. Thank you. Yeah. So a lot of these are still super fast. Here, I'm gonna go right to the top and just go right to the death spells.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, the death spells. So notice this.
Breakup spell right next to it.
Breakup spell, death spell, fuck off and die spell. So look, this is what I searched, spells, and these are the first two that came up. Let's go in there. So death spell. This is called the death spell, end it all, no karma. So if you put someone to death, you have no karma. Fatality spell, same day spell work. $90.
I mean, yeah, it's like, hey, you can kill someone and save $10.
Yeah, 10% off.
That is terrifying.
Wait a second. It said pay in 4 installments of $22, $22.50. So what if, if it's not the same day, are you just gonna stop paying? Like, well, fuck this, it didn't work.
Well, no, see, I don't think they die until it's paid in full.
Oh, makes sense.
Do not purchase a spell until you truly want your target to meet their end.
It's like, okay, it's been 22 hours. When's this motherfucker gonna drop dead?
This is scary, man. That this is just like, I could say something wrong, or if I'm having a bad day and I'm mean to some guy on the street, they could just pay $90 and I could be dead in 24 hours. That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, just Lindsay, I know there's someone you really don't like in your life. Who would you like to be killed tomorrow? Here's your Christmas present.
Yeah. Honey, I got you $100 gift card to Etsy. You can kill someone and get something for $10.
Let's just say once its cast cannot be removed, it will work until it has run its course. I don't know what the fuck that means. There's no current blowback on you, the buyer. How can they possibly ensure that? I have no idea. This spell is for one target. If you have more than one person you want to kill, the spell can work for more than one person. You just have to contact her and let her know everybody you want to die. This is not fucked up. This spell is done with dark magic and it's permanent with no expiration date.
Dude, this sounds like some Almost Heroes bullshit where they're like, oh, what about we slay the beast? Well, in about 50, 60 years, nature will run its course. Revenge is sweet, sire.
You want to look at the reviews now? 5-star.
Yes. Like, is there, because if that, like, this is essentially people being like, yep, this homicide was great.
This guy, so it's five stars. There's a 3-star one. This is amazing. Desperate any sign of lower affection. Wait, no, that's not one. Where's the death spell ones? Yeah, the contact. One of these, they're like, they didn't work, so I want a refund.
1 star. It's a Yelp review. Yes, I put a death spell on this guy. Didn't happen within 2 weeks. I'm never fucking going back to this place.
The spell works so fast. This person just killed somebody. I thought it will manifest 8 to 10 weeks, but man, this is fast. Worked in just 1 day. Wow, I was blown away.
That's definitely a fucking murderer, man. Definitely.
Oh, see, it says her spell is leave me alone, go away.
Oh yeah,
there
see, that's the problem is like some of these they only do like shop result spells. Like where's the death spell? Because some of these I was reading like it's a ripoff, it didn't work. This guy's a fraud. Body. I don't think a lot of people order death spells.
I sure hope not. And again, if you do, nothing against you, and I wish you the best.
It's like Amazon. You click on your cart, 3 death spells and some quilting needles. new pair of shoes.
But look at this one. Here's one though. Thank you for the help. Staying positive while waiting for it to manifest. You know what the spell is they had casted? I'll go to their spell. Make their world.
Oh my lord!
Make their world crumble around them. Ruin spell. Thank you so much. Positive thoughts all around.
Jeez Louise.
Kelly, the cart is 2 death spells and 1 sorry for your loss handmade card.
Hey, do not purchase a spell unless you want to ruin someone's life.
God, I think you could do that a lot other ways without, a spell.
This spell can make many different ways to make a person's life hell. This is like fucking crazy. Why would people do that? Let's go on to I don't know why these death spells come up as number 1. Isn't that just weird that these are the number ones that come up?
Yes, because it would lead you to believe they're the most purchased, or at least maybe they're the most clicked on because people are just curious.
Death spell, fuck off and die spell, drop dead, same day casting.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
I told you this would
be
be
like 3,700 sales. It said at the top there if you want to scroll up really quick. No, sorry, 3,100 sales. Jesus Christ.
I think that's just for, I'm going to guess.
Yeah,
I'm going to guess he or she does more than just kill people.
So, this is the downer part of this death spell. You might notice, Moans, this is a little bit more expensive than the other spells in the shop.
I have noticed. Yes, I have noticed.
7-day long spell. If you have to wait 7 days, it may not work right away because this spell may take time. So that's the downside of this death spell. It may take a little bit of time to work. This may be
60 years.
This is the part I love. I know this spell may be purchased for actual bodily death or death of the spirit, letting the spirit go with the person that they wish dead. Okay, I'll just skip that part. Let's go to the reviews because the full name, anyone you want to add to the spell, and their birthday photos. That's how you. So let's go through here. truly work. You are real. He provides excellent services. This guy's super fucking happy with dark hearts all over. He must have killed a lot of people.
Jesus Christ.
Gervander.
Gervander is back-to-back comments on there.
Jesus.
Gervander. He's going to communicate extra. Thanks. All I can say. A+. Watch. Let's see these other ones. Very nice person. Okay. He only got 4 stars. I'm still waiting for the results. Shoot.
It didn't work for me. That's what Dennis says.
Dennis says it didn't work for me. Shit. The person you want dead is still alive, unfortunately. There we go. And then you got these ones, and these are the smart people. They're not leaving details. They're like, yep, killed him. Great. Moving on.
Yeah,
oh, wait.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. Here, let me go back to that. It says 13 reviews for this item. Can I get 13 reviews for this item? Man, they don't sort by. No, I want to see this just this item. But anyways, yeah. So those are spells that I don't know why anybody would cast these spells and why they are the #1 spells on Etsy. But moving on, the breakup spell. All right. Little less scary, guys. No more death spells. Breakup, lovers, marriage, friends, voodoo.
And there's only 2 available, so that means someone has purchased this.
Yeah, so here we go. Dear friends, if you want to break a romantic relationship, marriage, or friendship, let that relationship with friend disappear. If you want a bond to disappear between 2 people at any cost, there's a spell to do that. To make from people go loving each other to hating each other. That sounds like such a nice spell to cast, regardless of how long they are or the degree of the relationship. Through this curse, the people you want will begin to experience boredom, which will then turn to disgust and into total disgust. Powerful black spell allow breaking a relation forever. More powerful if it is a relationship. The curse is ideal if you want to break a relationship quickly and permanently. So that's kind of the description of it right there. This guy, 5 results, but still waiting on the results. Word coming back to me is they have been fighting a lot. My PO, what's POI mean? Person of interest and his ex.
Exactly.
Okay, person of interest and his ex. I am so happy they are fighting. Hire with Madam Satanic. She knows what she's doing and goes the extra mile when you're in need of help.
Madam Satanic.
Is that someone you want to do a spell with?
Like I said, I wish her nothing but the best, and if it's a him, nothing but the best.
Received confirmation that was working. Please understand that this is not instant. I had to wait a few months, so that sucks. He's always delivered though. Sends pics of the spell and will answer any questions you have with patience and detail. Breakup spell. Are these people just jealous or what? Love cannot put into words. Breaking someone's relationship, making them hate each other. Love cannot put into words how good that feels.
I feel like the positive ones that we've looked at tonight, manifesting love in your life or something. I feel like positivity is a much stronger thing that realistically could happen, because like you could say, man, I hate my fucking neighbor. I hope they die. But I just don't see that. I just don't see you being able to, because all of these are too specific in my mind. All of these are like, I want Greg to die tonight, But the love one, anything else, the money one can happen whenever with whoever. I just don't think specificity with some of this shit like this. Who knows? These ones are just weird to me. I don't really have an answer for some of this shit.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would wish these ones. And in my book of shadows, they have these forbidden death curse spells at the very end. And the explanation they give is if something's truly terrible and someone's ruined someone else's life and it's just a horrible situation, that you can go ahead and just kill them. No. it's if you watch Dexter a lot, it's kind of the same morality they use on that. But I mean, I don't know. A lot of these, I agree with Melon. You get pissed off at someone and wish a death spell on them, and they're dead like 24 hours later.
And it's just so like, and then imagine if that shit, like if it does work within like 24 hours, and then 2 days go by, and you're like, man, I'm actually not that mad anymore. That was kind of a huge mistake.
It's like, You just like
that shit scares the shit out of me. Like anytime like supernatural or something like that, it just like scares you.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. Just the fact that I was just so blissfully unaware that I could piss somebody off and think that they would eventually get over it, or maybe if I like was the bigger person and apologize for being a dickhead. Now I just know that like they can just go on Etsy while they're shopping for graduation gifts and wish me dead. That scares me. I don't like that.
Do you have people
Yeah.
that would want to wish you dead, Mahoney?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think I've ever been like so terrible to anyone that they'd want to kill me. I sure hope not.
What's that movie where the guy is it Along Came Polly or whatever, where the guy calls and apologizes, and then what's his name, Steve Buscemi, turns around and crosses the name off his list. And
That's
puts the lipstick
Billy
on.
Madison.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you called and apologized, cross Mark Mahoney off the list, puts the lipstick on.
No, I don't think. I think even the kids who I was like, maybe I was not as cool to, or I was trying to be too much of a popular guy at the beginning of high school. I think by the end of high school, I was so much better and humbled by life. And honestly, theater helped me just realize, like, dude, people can be cool in a lot of different ways. You don't have to be good at a sport or act a certain way for people to like you. So I hope that no one carries a bunch of ill will towards me, because I tried to be as good as I could.
Well, they say the kids are just fucking dicks, and high school kids, and especially like younger kids too, even younger than that, 5th grade, 4th grade, kids are just fucking like terrible, relentless to each other. And then you grow up and you kind of, I don't know what it is about maturing or whatever, but you just kind of learn like, yeah, that's not super fucking cool, to make something that way. So
I think so too. I think people mature a lot too. They don't. Well, most people do. But I'm gonna go into some love spell stories gone wrong, where someone cast the love spell on somebody else and it went wrong, and they're not sure what the fuck to do now. So this is on Reddit. Person said, I did a love spell as a joke. So this person's in the same boat as me, except I have no results so far. I did a love spell as a joke. Didn't think it was gonna work, but I did it. I did the honey jar method. So people don't know what the honey jar method is. It's this honey jar you keep, and you put this love thing in it, and you keep it on your bed stool or whatever for 7 or 14 days or something like that. I can't remember what it is. Let me tell you, the person I did it on is obsessed with me badly, to the point it's scary. She threatened to kill herself if I left. All sorts of stuff. When I was getting crazy, I threw my jar away, but she was still obsessive. I did my research. After the fact, found out you have to empty the jar to release the spell. Now I feel trapped. Don't know what to do anymore. I looked and searched to find one spell to release this off her so she can be happy. I need help, please. Is there anything I can do to get her away from me, basically, from her free will? Is that a little crazy?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, isn't that a little bit psychotic? That this is like I'm just going down the dark part. A spell's gone wrong for low spells, just to kind of add stuff. And they go into like more details about cord cutting spells and these different things, and they give her tips on how to do spells to reverse it. That's where I'm saying that, man, it's like it kind of gives you that feeling like you read stuff, it's like, well, maybe this is just a bunch of bullshit or whatever. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it's the law of attraction. And then you start reading these other stories like, fuck, maybe this does work.
Well, it's like the old saying, be careful what you wish for. I think about that all the time. Like, watch out, 'cause you might think you want a shit ton of money and all these materialistic things, or sex or whatever, but that can go very sour, very south, very fast,
I can't tell you how many posts I've seen where someone's like, yeah, I just did this thing for fun. It was a joke. I didn't think it was a big deal. And within a certain amount of period of time, the person they cast it on is just madly obsessed with them, all this shit. And people will comment below like, dude, witchcraft's no fucking joke. You don't just go out there and be like, oh, I'm just going to do this for fun. Whatever happens.
Yeah, because if you're doing it for fun and it's a fucking joke, you're expressing the right emotions and mindset that you need to. Your heart's open. You don't give a shit. That's exactly what you need to be for things to be attracted into your life. So yeah, that can go south if you're fucking around with it,
And that joke, quote unquote, obviously if you believe in it, you know what you're getting yourself into. So it's like, I don't know, joke is kind of wish-washy word to use,
So I'm going to do a story that I heard someone do, and I can't find the post, but the lady, there's a guy, he was like a fucking dentist, a really wealthy dentist, and she this woman decided to cast a love spell on him. She had a thing for him for a little while. The guy got so fucking crazy obsessed with her that he was stalking her outside her workplace and everything, just lost his mind. Eventually ended up in jail. And that was kind of like the end of the story. But I was like, that's kind of fucking weird.
Dude, you want to watch something that is like all about this podcast and what you just said? Marissa's into all those Lifetime weirdo fucking movies. Watch Stalked by My Doctor. It sounds like weird, but it is such, there's two of them. And they're actually really fucking good movies. Watch Stalked by My Doctor. It is exactly this. That guy is a fucking freak show. It's very awkward. If you want to feel some awkward emotions, watch that show.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Me neither. And I don't really like awkward emotions, but I am kind of curious now.
No, you'll like it. They're good movies, man. I think they're on Hulu, Netflix. I don't know what they're on, but they're out there. Go watch them.
So what do you think, Mahomes? Do you think these love spells actually work?
I don't know, man. I've always been like, I find it interesting. I don't know if curious is the right word, because I'm like cautious. I'm interested, but I'm cautious because I don't. It's one of those things that, like, who knows? It's been around for so long. You just look at like how ancient witchcraft is. For it to carry on for so long, there has to be something to it. You would think it can't just be just fables passed on for millennia that people just keep doing the same thing and nothing ever happens. That seems a little kind of bizarre. I don't know, man. It's stuff that I definitely don't want to fuck with. That's for sure. Because I don't want to be on the wrong side of it. Or like Kelly said, if you think you're doing something, I try to imagine like a younger version of me that was single, and I see this girl that I think is super attractive, and I do this love spell, and it just goes totally haywire. Like the stories you were talking. Like,
Attraction, yeah, attraction is fucked up too, because in the context of deer lodge, there's plenty of girls that I think were probably attractive, but you're living in such a small little fucking bubble of a community, and you have all these different stereotypes and everything else. Where it's like, if someone from the complete outside looked in, they're like, wow, she's fucking hot, and she wanted you didn't want to fucking date her or anything. So attraction is fucking weird. It's a context of it, but I'm gonna bring up another one. And this kind of this story tells the reverse part of it, of what it feels like to have a love spell cast on you. And this is kind of interesting here. I was a recipient of a love spell, and let me tell you, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I felt like I was going insane and experienced pretty dramatic mental anguish through the whole thing. This is what they talk about. They say that when the other side of feeling, you're just obsessed with somebody out of nowhere. I always had interest in all things strange. I'm a kind of weird person, blah, blah, blah. I started seeing him in a local bar, hung out. Okay, she was actually dating a guy who was interested in witchcraft or whatever. But I've heard, I've seen stories on here where they talk about it, just they're obsessed. They feel like they can't function without the person. Some people have said this guy became like a method actor doing the love story, love spell on somebody. It's kind of crazy. Shit. So why am I not down with this stuff again?
Yeah, I think once again, it's like you get a one-track mind, and you know what I'm saying? If your day, you get so obsessed where it's like, if your day didn't start off with shit, this person's not talking with me, that totally affected my mood, or blah, 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 blah. With that, I think, yeah, it does become at a point very obsessive, and that's all you can think about in life, which is crazy. And I think all of us have probably been there at one point or another,
Yeah, it depends. A lot of these ones you see online, we don't have enough time to go into the X ones. A lot of them are like, bring back an X, and they're like, the people are like, they bring back an X, and then, well, guess lo and behold, the person they brought back just came back with a bunch of fucking lies and shit to begin with. So it's like, fuck.
Yeah, honestly, I think that any relationship you've ever been in, you would still be in it if you wanted to be in it. I mean, like Matt said, we've all been on the one side of the coin or the other, where someone's super obsessed with you, you're super obsessed with them. But any relationship you've been through in life, whether you're on one side of the coin or the other. You could literally still be in that relationship and still be married to that person if you just fucking let it happen and didn't break these rules and didn't worry so much about it and didn't try to control the situation. And
Yeah, and I think that's I don't know, I'm getting too many of these stories. I get obsessively read these stories. They're just fucking bizarre as hell. But yeah, I don't know. I guess the podcast got a little dark here, got a little scary, and yeah. Now I'm sitting here dark in my office wondering why I casted 57 spells the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a little creepy, and it makes me kind of want to round the horses.
I stay away from that shit. A Ouija board scare the fuck out of me. Just being a guy who goes to church and understands the shit, the fucking shit. I'm just saying that.
Mahomes understands the fucking shit, don't you, Mahomes?
I do. I remember doing a Ouija board when I was young in the house we had before the one that you would come up and hang out in all the time. And man, that scared the shit out of me.
You actually did a fucking Ouija board?
Yeah, we had one for a while. And I mean, I'll forever say that house we lived in was haunted. And I think the Ouija board thing was a real bad idea. And I was young. Like, it was fucking scary. It was real scary.
That's the one thing I won't do. And to clarify some of these spells that I've been associated with, or whatever you want to call it, all of our white magics, they don't involve spirits or anything like that. But I won't touch the Ouija board. I don't touch summoning dead spirits. I don't touch anything that's like has to do with fucking the underworld or spirits. Because I just think I agree with you. I think that shit just fucking can fuck with your head big time and go south.
Yeah, it was scary. It was not, and just a bunch of spooky shit started. We could talk about ghosts we could do a whole nother podcast on ghosts or experiences we might or might not have had. But a lot of stuff, like after we did that, a lot of weird things started happening in that house for really the entire time until we moved out. Yeah, it was scary as shit. My sister was older at the time. She was in high school, and it was one of the things it's kind of like her friends were over, and I think she was babysitting me. I wasn't like I was young enough to where I couldn't be left alone unsupervised. And so I remember I was around, and it was creepy. It was creepy as shit.
Yeah, let's do actually the next podcast episode on paranormal stuff and ghosts and shit. 'Cause I think we all have some fucking ghost stories that are creepy as hell.
Yeah, that'd be a good segue. Trying to do the Halloween type.
Yeah, I think the next episode we're going to focus on ghost paranormal stuff. I'll get some stuff prepared, and I'll have an update on my spells, especially the soulmate spell. The soulmate spell, I'll have an update. I'm not going to get the date, but this podcast will still be going. So I'll down the road, folks. Head on down that road, and basically where I'm at with spells, I got 9 days left on these things, and I'm just doing them for fun. Then I'm taking my notebook and fucking putting it somewhere and just saying, okay, time to just focus on financial stuff. Maybe more some things that are a little bit more safe, you might say, than
put it in the honey jar. That seemed to work.
The honey, I'm staying away the fucking honey jar. I've seen too many honey jar stories. All right, I guess it's been fun. It's just been fun to tinker around with or whatever. And looks like I'm about home free. In 9 days, I'm completely home free, and looking forward to that. Because if I really didn't believe it at all, I wouldn't be nervous about the next 9 days.
Well, we should probably round the witches.
All right, let's round those witches up. Once again, I'd just like to make it clear, especially for me, Mahomes, everybody on the show, that we wish all witches out there the best. And witchcraft, I've done a lot of studies on witchcraft. It's actually most of it's like, when I say most of it, overwhelmingly, most of it is good moral people. That it's no different than practicing a religion. It's just you're doing spells instead of prayers and stuff. So it's overwhelmingly, it's it's not different than like the Catholic Church or anything. Again, I'll cite this: 5 million people in Haiti practice voodoo. 5 million. people in Haiti practice, and people in Haiti don't see the difference between voodoo and the Catholic Church. They really don't. So overwhelmingly, we went to some dark areas today. It's been interesting, but overwhelming. It's pretty safe, and I hope everybody can sleep tonight. All right. I'll start with Matt. You want to round the horns there?
Yeah, very interesting. Like at some points, I think we're like listening to other people's stories. Like there's sometimes not a whole lot to add because they're like, oh man, that's kind of dark, and I think that'll be the next the kind of how that we are the next time when we talk about ghost stories and shit. You just have a moment just to think like, shit, it is pretty interesting. In a podcast, you want to keep it moving and shit. And there's not a whole lot of time to sit back and think, but I thought there was a lot of good points, and yeah, it did go very dark like you wanted. Congratulations.
Yeah, this episode definitely ending with a weird vibe to it. So, Mahomes, what do you think?
Yeah, man, super weird vibe. I think, I don't know, maybe you could do a spell about it, unweirding the vibe. The whole thing just has me like, I wouldn't say unsettled, but just like feeling weird about just you can essentially take a hit out on someone for under $100 online. That's fucking crazy. That I feel like that should be talked about more than it is. Like that shouldn't be available. But again, nothing but best wishes to anyone out there practicing. And who knows, I could reach out sometime soon about positive stuff.
All right, Kelly. No internet glitches at all for Kelly. Cross your fingers. This is his last speech here tonight.
Yeah. Thanks for the internet upgrade, Pat. Appreciate it.
It's called Witchcraft.
I was just thinking you should make a highlight video since we're almost to 30 episodes. You should make a highlight video that's just 3 minutes long, or maybe even shorter, of just some of these quick blips of the really energetic moments. Because we've had some good moments on this show since we started 6 months ago or whatever. So just something to think about. I just want to talk about how Mahoney said, well, witchcraft's been around for a long time. Witchcraft, this all kind of sounds like law of attraction shit to me, which, yes, law of attraction has been around throughout the entire history of the universe, at least since mankind's been here. The law of attraction isn't something that was just created on the spot a couple of years ago. We're just now understanding it and talking about it. But the law of attraction with human beings has always been there. It's here for everybody, even if you don't know that it exists. The law of attraction is working for you or against you, depending on your thoughts and your energies. And the last thing I want to talk about was risk. They say no risk, no reward about the law of attraction stuff. The biggest things that have happened in your life, any of our lives, has happened because you've taken the biggest risks. Your marriage or the money you've made or whatever, the biggest thing that you fucking have accomplished or gained in your life, you had to take the biggest risk for that. Therefore, I'm not saying go out there and be super irresponsible, but if you can make bigger risks, especially in the financial world, you're going to get rewarded so much more. Calculated risks maybe, but it's true. We don't just say these things like no risk, no reward just to say them. It applies to everybody, and we say them because it's true. And people just kind of let it go in one ear out the other. But think about that next time you're like, man, do I really want to take this? You got to take the risk. You got to believe it's going to happen. Positive energy behind it. I'm not saying it happens all the time, but it'll happen a whole hell of a lot more if you put positive energy behind it and believe in the risk that you're taking.
Yeah, totally. I agree 100% with that. And risk. There's no reward with any risk. No one, Bill Gates, all these guys, they risked everything for what they believed in. And there's no possibility you're going to get anything without risking. You can't just casually do stuff. But anyways, I'll finish off with saying that this witchcraft historically has got a bad rap and a bad taboo. It goes ages back with the Catholic Church and other religions of mainly Christianity, because there was a small sect of witchcraft that believed in black magic or negative magic, like the ones we covered here, and casting those spells. And the overwhelming majority that believed the positive things about magic and Witchcraft, because witchcraft mainly has to do with nature and the universe. It's really down to earth, positive stuff, trying to do a positive impact on everybody's life. And a lot of witchcraft, you become a witch, do a witch stuff is about self stuff, helping yourself see things better and in the universe, things like that. So witchcraft itself has got a really bad rap over the years. I'm kind of glad now that it is available online. It's a lot of communities online. There's more out there, so more people can practice it openly, where back in the day you would almost be like executed if they found you were a witch or whatever. So it's good to see this. It's out there, and it's something like anything you should be able to talk about or do, because we should have that freedom to be able to do that. We did some dark stuff here with the witchcraft stuff. It's still, I agree with Mullins. It's shocking that you can just have a spell on Etsy to kill somebody. That is very shocking. It's probably a shocking thing. One of the most shocking things we've discussed on this podcast. I don't know what else could top that, but next week we're coming back with a really strong episode. We're going to talk about ghosts next week, real ghost stories and ghost encounters, and that one's going to be really, really fucking spooky. But man, 2 days away from October. I am so glad we did Death Spells tonight, got that one out of the way, so we can go darker and darker as we go through October, because Halloween is fucking awesome. This is going to be the best month of all of our lives here, especially at the Prison Pizza, the Prison City podcast. All right, God bless everybody. Hope you enjoy the show tonight, and may the force be with you.